In this video, I'm going to be sharing why stress could be the reason that your money manifesting is so on and off, inconsistent, and frustrating, and why and how you can trigger the vagus nerve to actually aid you to not only de-stress, but also manifest money and manifest other things far more easily and effectively. So stress, as we all know and is widely recognized, is a silent killer. People don't know they're stressed until it's kind of hit a really critical point because we can't feel it. It doesn't come up in a bump. It doesn't come up in a bruise. It doesn't come up in anything. It's an energy that is occurring in our body. It usually means that our sympathetic nervous system, which is responding to threats, responding to attacks, is on a high alert. So it's sending out cortisol, it's sending out a stress response that keeps putting us in this perpetual flight or fight or flight, which is really, if you think about it, is why manifesting can become on and off because we're under stress. And the more we are under stress, the more it perpetuates stress. So the more worried we get about money, the more peed off we get, the more anxious we get, the more frustrated we get. It's creating that perpetual state of stress within us. So one of the ways to de-stress is to trigger the vagus nerve, which is part of our parasympathetic system. It's a really massive kind of superhighway, people call it. It is this big sort of set of nerves that runs through us that sends signals to our organs from our brain and back from our organs to our brain, and it can start to release good feelings. It can start to bring pressure down. It can start to bring the body into a not into a state of fight or flight, but into a state of balance, which is what we need. Because when we're under stress, when we're working from a place of stress reaction continually, we shut our intuition down. We stop listening to it. And intuition is so key to us being able to manifest rather than working from that emotional, fraught, anxious, frenetic energy that drives us when we're under stress. So I'm going to give you 4 tips that are going to help activate and trigger your vagus nerve and start to bring your stress levels down. Now, these are not things that you do one off and then it's all brilliant forever. These are practices that we need to bring into our life and bring back into our life, because something happens when we're stressed. We give up on self-care, we give up on things that are good for us. So we all know when we're stressed, we'll overeat, eat emotionally, eat for comfort. We'll eat the kind of wrong foods, high sugar, high fat, because they give us a temporary relief from something that we're feeling, and we're stuffing away what we're feeling instead of addressing it. We stop exercising. Our sleep patterns go out of control. Our temper becomes more and more ratty, and then we feel guilty, and we're in this kind of cycle, and it spreads and permeates throughout our life. It doesn't just impact how we manifest money, although in this video that is our focus. And I want to give you these 4 tips that are going to help you reduce the stress so that you can start listening to your intuition again, and you can start making your life fun, adventurous. It will always have challenges. Nothing is ever going to stop us having challenges, because life happens. Stuff will happen in life. Sometimes it's going to feel like we are climbing a very steep mountain. Sometimes it's going to feel like we're just kind of meandering up a mountain. Sometimes it's going to feel like we're gliding and flying. But that is the nature of existence. But it's our inner responses that determine what our outcomes are. If we are continuously operating from that place of stress, our outcomes are not going to be what we want, and it's just going to put us in this cycle of frustration. So one of the ways to trigger the vagus nerve that will kind of start the parasympathetic nervous system, start to also impact our neural pathways, which is what sends all the good messages out, is the vagus nerve starts from the brain and kind of comes down both sides of our neck into our body. So it's to stimulate this area. Now, one of the things is you can just be rubbing like this, really gently. But a really good one is humming, chanting, singing. Now, if you look back in ancient cultures, singing together, humming, chanting was really part of it. And now it's kind of slightly seen as a bit wacko or a bit too out there or something really silly or something that, is done in sort of weird religious things that we might not be interested in. But actually, to bring back chanting into your life is something that is really, really magical and incredibly uplifting. Now, you'll find lots of chant videos on YouTube, without a doubt. But a really simple one that you can use is Om, and everybody's heard of it. It doesn't matter what denomination it comes from, but that really will vibrate here, which then triggers those that nerve, the vagus nerve, to kind of kick into action. So I'm going to give it a go now, and it's just something really simple. So you can close your eyes and give it a go with me, where you go Om. And with the sound Om, it goes into a hum, and you can go for as long as you can. It's not about like spluttering with not being able to breathe. It's meant to also be fun and gentle, but you will feel that hum in this sort of area, and that is activating your vagus nerve, and it's that simple. Let's try it again. Om. And you can feel it resonating there. It's absolutely wonderful to do. This is a really good practice. If you don't like Om, find something else. There are so many different types of chants. Sing to your favorite pop song, but singing will just trigger that because you've got all that vibration going on in your neck area. And one of the things that I find really fascinating about our kind of innate responses, not reactions, is one of the things I've done ever since I was a little girl, probably even when I was a baby, but I wouldn't know because I wouldn't remember, and my mum doesn't remember. But when I'm kind of going to sleep, I often will just sort of automatically hum and make that noise of like almost purring. I've been told. I remember by the first my first ever boyfriend said to me, "You purr when you sleep or when you're going to sleep." And I was like, "Do I?" And I realized I did, but it was just something that I was so used to. So that was bringing down whatever stress might have been in the day, just bringing that down to be able to sleep. Because we all know when we're stressed, we don't sleep very well. We might fall asleep, but then we keep waking up. It's like we wake up, go back to sleep, then we wake up, wake up. We can be lying in our bed in the dead of the night thinking, I don't know why I'm awake. There's no thoughts. I'm not even worrying about anything or thinking about anything, but it's that energy that's running through us. And inevitably, we'll get on with the day, but there's this level of exhaustion which will lead to burnout that happens. And that's what I don't want to happen for you. The second tip, which won't come as a surprise to you, is meditation. But specifically when it comes to money manifesting, I'm talking about a money meditation. So if we're feeling stressed about money, we don't feel like we've got enough or it's not working for us, we're seeing other people talking about how much they're making, how well their business is doing, how well their career is doing. It's letting off little bombs of stress within us, even if we're not consciously aware of it. So one of the ways for you to bring yourself back into balance internally and to allow yourself to set your frequency to align to money is to do a money meditation. Now, if you look in the description of this video, I have linked to a fabulous, one of my favorite money meditations that I've shared on my channel. And I'm going to suggest that you take that as part of your practice, bring it into your life. You don't have to do it every day. You don't do it more than once a day. You might decide to do that meditation, as a minimum 3 times a week, but being deliberate on purpose to bring the practices will help your vagus nerve activate and start to really work its magic and put your sympathetic nervous system back into a state of it's not being triggered, so it's not letting out all that stress, is really going to change your life. And one of the things about meditation is it strengthens your neural pathways, which are the kind of like messengers. So when you're strengthening them, they're sending out the messages of, hey, life is good, life is calm. We are calm in this body structure. We are calm in our thoughts. We are calm. We are peaceful. We are focused. We are strong. We are powerful. we are attracting money. So it all starts to kind of blend in to send out the right signals to the inner workings of you, which means that you radiate that strength from the inside out. So money meditation is an absolute must. And having a guided money meditation is far better than trying to think, maybe if I just think about money, that will do it, because that can actually create more stress. So make sure that you're following a guided money meditation if creating money meditations isn't your forte. Now, my third tip is walking in nature. Now, we all know the benefits of exercise. You know, we might not know the full detail, but we know there are a gazillion benefits of exercise. There's a gazillion benefits of being in nature. There's all the neurons, there's the green of nature that is really calming and balancing. But actually, you will have experienced this when you're walking, when you let yourself have the permission to go out for a walk, you start to kind of process stuff without having to overthink it. So there's this really lovely, natural way of just kind of de-stressing, decluttering our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings. We feel like a million times better. It's that wind that's blown all the cobwebs away. So it's really, really important to get yourself out in nature. And I know a lot of people have said to me over the years, but I live in a city, there isn't much nature around. There always is. Even a little bit of grass that you can go and stand and be around is better than sitting behind a computer or attached to your phone or just, you know, sitting around watching daytime TV and just feeling really like your life isn't in control, because that is just continuing to add to the stress. So get yourself out in nature, even if it's a 10-minute walk, allow yourself to have that experience. And the fourth, and one of my favorite things to do to activate your vagus nerve, is square breathing. Now, when we're stressed, we breathe really differently. When we are just doing our everyday stuff, we're not really mindfully breathing. So, square breathing is about mindful breathing. And I've done a little video when I was out earlier for my walk to talk you through what square breathing is. So, square breathing is brilliant to trigger your parasympathetic nervous system. So, it brings down your stress. So, stand up or sit down, eyes open, eyes soft. It's up to you. Just allow yourself to relax. And then breathe in for 4, pause for 4, breathe out for 4, pause for 4, and then repeat. So you just count, and it's 4, 4, 4, 4, which is why it's square breathing. And recently I also learned that this is a detoxing breathing. So you're actually breathing out the toxins that gather, that create inflammation. One of the things when our sympathetic nervous system is kicking in and we're stressed and anxious and worrying about stuff and living on that kind of burnout energy is that we do more shallow breathing. We don't breathe out for as long as we breathe in, and we're holding breath without realizing, and it's really chesty and puts a lot of pressure on our shoulders, which is why we get those shoulder aches, neck aches and headaches, because we're not breathing well. So doing this like for a cycle of 4 times every single day will allow you to really start relaxing and get that vagus nerve functioning and triggering it to be really active in a positive and constructive way for you. And there you have it, 4 tips to trigger your vagus nerve, which is part of your parasympathetic nervous system, that brings all your stress levels down and reduces the cortisol that stops you feeling stressed, burnt out, frustrated, you know, angry, sad, anxious, all those range of emotions that can just be like you're swimming in this sea of emotions, and it's closing down your intuition, which will impact how you manifest money. So remember that we've got humming, chanting, singing. You also got that little extra one of massaging like that, but really, really gently. And when you hum and sing, you'll feel that vibration. You've got meditating, particularly money meditation. So it has all the benefits of meditation, but it also brings that added magic of money. So you're aligning to the frequency of money, walking in nature, which has all the benefits of exercise and all the cortisol reduction. And it's a way for you to kind of process things without having to sit there and overthink and be uncertain and doubtful. And is it this? Is it that? There's a real lovely way when we're in nature for things to just be naturally clear. And the fourth one, which is square breathing, which is real mindfulness breathing, very detoxing. So it actually is clearing away toxins from the body when you're doing that amazing breathing. If you've liked this video, make sure that you share it. Let me know in the comments anything that has come up for you, and check out the resources that I've got in the description of this video, where I've also got a link to my money meditation video and stuff around my Sarupa's Wealth Club, which is starting January 2025. It's got a rolling membership. It is absolutely fabulous, even though I'm saying it myself. But every month we meet to really take a deep dive into your money story, into aspects of what is your prosperity code, what is your money archetype, how is it that you manifest, and how that differs from me. So you really are going to get the tools and the processes to explore you and your magic. So check out the link to Sarupa's Wealth Club, and I would love to see you there.